You got to meet this live.
You're live.
Well, I didn't get to meet her. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Anyway, so I was really impressed because she was dancing her heart out. You know, because she wants to quit. You know, she wants to get married. Yeah, and all that kind of stuff.
Actually, it's a test. Let's just do the test.
So I thought that.
Your last record, what's on your record?
Oh, the laptop's in front of the screen. There you go. So okay, so anyway, I was just very impressed with that, and I was thinking, you know, we all should be looking at how can we do our best in this stuff, you know? What? Oh, I forgot to get that part. Well, I'm Kathleen Kramer, so I'm glad.
They loved it at my meeting when I said, I'm Tom Coughlin.
I can be Kathleen Kramer. What the heck? Where's my tutu anyway? Okay. All right, so where's the clicker? Ah, that's the thing you're handing me. Okay, so this is our Region 6 meeting. We're slightly cut off, but not totally. There we go. And hello?
Who's on?
Oh, that's what you were worried about. So are we recording too? Presumably we're recording, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Okay. So here's my talk. I'm going to try to bring us a little bit closer into the schedule if I can, but I have a huge number of slides, so we can't get stuck on the map. First of all, what I call is the obligatory IEEE intro slides. And then we're going to talk a bit about some important stuff going on in terms of trying to reorganize the IEEE. And I want to talk to you guys more on that. Then we'll get into Region 6 initiatives, things that we want to do here. And then we'll talk about some of our conferences, which is actually part of this. And then there's an IEEE USA meeting coming up in May. So I want to bring that up to you because I'm hoping that maybe there's some of the folks in the sections who will be able to come. So first of all, these are some of the obligatory IEEE. So here's the org chart, right? And I like this because the members are at the top. In my mind, the members are the very basis of the creation of value in the IEEE because
They're like stockholders.
they are the major stakeholders or stockholders in the organization, and that a lot of the stuff of value, all the energy comes from us. It comes from the members, and from the members comes the volunteers. And the board of directors reports and should represent us. It's likewise, this thing, it's a New York State, because we're a New York corporation, a requirement that you have this thing called an assembly. It's supposed to represent, especially it's supposed to represent geographical units. And then we've got underneath the board of directors, member geographic stuff. We're part of that. You know, sections, regions, areas. And then you got technical activities, which is societies and technical councils. And then you have the publications, PSPB, Standards Association, Educational Activities, IEEE USA, all these other subunits, which are here partially because of our long history. This thing started off with, I think, Graham Bell, or Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison and some folks getting together. And Tesla getting together and deciding to form an organization. And later on, the radio guys got together. In the 1960s, they combined the two groups together and created, I think, 63, what's now called the Institute of Electrical Electronic Engineers, now called the IEEE. And then finally got this executive committee, which is the staff, staff management, and then staff and society executive directors and whatever else we got. So these are all of our thousands plus employees.
Is it the part of board of directors?
Sorry?
Are all the members of executive committee are member of?
Not now.
No?
No.
Well, they're not voting. But they are present at board.
They're present at the meetings, but they're not voting members. That's some of the stuff they want to talk about in 2030, but I'll get there in a minute. Hello?
So can we? So how many?
Yeah, wait. You see, they back you up. They're interested.
All right, let's go back. The obligatory stuff.
It's interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
How many are paid staff and how many are volunteer?
There are no volunteers.
How many
Staff gets paid. We are the volunteers. We don't get paid.
How many are there?
So
Of what?
Like, is it a 2%
Staff.
volunteer versus the whole IEEE or?
There is.
Oh, no.
There-
There's 430,000 IEEE members.
Okay.
There's 100 volunteers to every staff member. Is the statistic you usually
I
get?
like that. That's pretty good. Well, we'll say that's
How
true.
many staff members are there?
I'm
There's
looking
over
it up
1,000.
for you.
Over 1,000.
Yes, worldwide.
So let's just keep it simple.
And our total revenue of IEEE is over $400 million a year.
Most of that's
About half of
pubs.
that's publication.
So
And-
1,000
yes.
300 of it's pubs right now.
300.
Okay, let's go on. We get stuck on numbers.
So how
I'm not
many
able to forward, so could you forward, please? Okay, on to this. This is there's 10 regions total worldwide. In the United States, there are 6. Region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then don't argue with me about this map, because it's all the pixels aren't where they should be on here. There's 10 regions, more than 300 sections, 1,450 student branches, 38 societies, 7 councils, plus a growing number of networks and communities, and about the latest number is 425,000 members. Actually, this last year, we declined in membership by a little bit,
Oh,
worldwide, which we have not done before that.
7,000, right?
Next slide.
No,
So-
not that way.
Here is Region 6. That's us. And we distort it because we actually have a huge geographical area if we're going to get a nice square thing. And this is the map in particular that people always want to fight about, so don't. We have 5
It's
areas,
wrong.
5 areas, 35 sections, 2 subsections, 2 councils, over 228 chapters, I counted them up, in affinity groups, 95 student branches, some of which are active, many of which are active, some of which
decade
aren't.
ago, we had 60,000 members.
Oh, you'll see in a minute. We have about 55,000 total members right now, including the student and the higher level people. Okay, Region 6 object. Okay, so we got through those. IEEE Region 6 objectives. This is stuff that I felt was important. Respect and enable the volunteer. We want to be able to manage our time. Karen's supposed to be helping us in doing project management, things of that sort, so we can get stuff done efficiently, effectively. We can do small-sized projects that are tuned to the needs of professional volunteers who actually have jobs. It would enhance membership, improve retention. We want to create value. We want to enhance our online experience. We need to embrace the tools that are available to us today for us to be more significant, to reach out to. We have a broad geographic area, even within our region, to be able to be effective, to be able to get the most benefit to the most of our members. We want to create active alliances with industries, venture capitalists, other potential stakeholders who have a need and interest and actually create great wealth based upon technology.
Yeah.
And this region is a hotbed of technological innovation and the generation of wealth
Someone did
based
a
on that.
study of concentration of technical people, and the number 1 was the Santa Clara Valley,
Mhm.
and the number 2 was Seattle.
Yeah. This is one of those big ones. You want to create active alliances with academia, and that's why having Kathleen is our director-elect, who works at San Diego, University of San Diego. I think that's one of the things we want to that she's going to be tasked with helping us to get as much done we can do there, as many things we can do. I'd love to be able for college education to cost less, because I have two in college, actually sort of 4, but anyway,
As
that's
lucky
another
the
story.
Washington State Legislature just proposed to actually reduce cost of college in Washington State. I don't know
Wow.
where the money's coming from, but that's what they said.
Interesting.
It's easy to say.
I want to create active alliances with technically oriented cultural groups in STEM. In other words, we ain't got everything. And we're not even the best at a lot of stuff. We aren't. We may have had members who invented a lot of things, but as an institution, we do not represent the sum total of the knowledge and experience and capabilities of our members. But we can reach out to more of those members, but also reach out to other organizations that have got cool stuff, like the Maker Fairs, like the First Robotics, if you want to get down to the STEM things. Go ahead.
Related to that, there's a Future Sound Engineering Council.
Mhm.
It has about 16,000 members total. The IEEE Seattle section is only 1/4 of those. So we are networked with all the other engineering societies, and many of the things that we do for STEM education are collected with PSEC rather than just IEEE.
We've got one of those, the Silicon Valley Engineering Council, too, which is sort of a council of organizations
Right. Same
there.
idea.
I'm going to go to a science fiction convention next month in the Santa Clara Valley. I was inspired to get into engineering and science in general by being a big fan of science fiction when I was a kid. Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, Sturgeon, all these folks, And I wanted, I thought by the time I'd be this age, I'd be an asteroid miner, some kind of crusty old asteroid miner, And, so, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I got the crusty part. Yeah. So, I think we ought to be reaching out to the stuff that gets people interested in technology and the things we can do with technology. So, like I say, I'm going to try to go to science fiction convention. I'd like to see Region 6, or IEEE, at Maker Fairs, at First Robotics, at science fiction conventions, at other weird steampunk things, whatever, recognize and celebrate our history. So we've got we actually, I think for the first time, actually have an IEEE milestone coordinator, Brian Berg from Santa Clara Valley. And Brian Berg, so in Santa Clara Valley, we've got an active program of trying to get IEEE engineering milestones. In fact, there's about 9 in the mill right now. Mm-hmm. And we want to do that throughout the region. So if you got some stuff that's historically significant, that's 25 years or older, let's get them in that.
I have the first meeting minutes of CS section 111 years ago.
No, that doesn't count. This is a IEEE engineering milestones, as in, for instance, the original ARPANET, for instance, things like
We
that.
have a lot of historic.
Oh, you're saying as a resource?
No, we
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to put them.
Oh, you don't know where to put them? Oh, that's a whole different thing.
You see,
Go
we
ahead.
have 111 years ago, and all the document and the handwriting beautiful.
So
Oh, we need to scan them.
the,
Yeah.
The IEEE Global History Network has a wiki page for the Seattle section that will let you upload whatever you want to preserve it forever.
Yeah, we
Sorry, I
can
was
do
presuming.
that.
But let's scan those and get those.
I was trying to see whether I could get into that one.
Also, a
Yeah.
certain former treasurer of the Region 6, we'd like to get some historical information from sometime.
Who would that be?
D.
Mr. D, I think. Anyway. In bottom line is we want IEEE, we want to have IEEE Region 6 be recognized as leaders, as innovators. We want to be seen as the cool folks in the block, the folks that people will want to interact with. And we want to be young, trying to reach one younger guy. I'd like to see a lot more people less than 40 who are involved in IEEE, especially in IEEE Region 6.
And we've got the
That's
cool
what
section.
region.
And this, go ahead.
That's
So
what
we
Rising
always
Stars is.
emphasize the young, but I would like to emphasize new blood in our group too.
Period.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's nice to have somebody new.
Indeed.
in our
Welcome.
meeting room.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No matter how young they are.
Yeah.
I'm really young.
Yeah, everybody's good too.
But we'd like to have some young people too. And the reason why is because in 2030, there's a number of us in this room who may be retired if we can ever afford it. And the people that are younger are going to be the people that are going to be in their prime at that point. That's 15 years from now. So we're trying to. So I'm involved in the IEEE board of directors because I'm on 3 boards in the IEEE. That's the way the thing works. And one of the things we started off in January was this IEEE in 2030 initiative. And the participants in this activity have been the board of directors, the management council, and selected guests based on age, geography, technical diversity in order to try to create an IEEE that's forward-looking, that's nimble, that's able to help create the future. So it's supported by 2015, 2016 IEEE presidents to focus on how best to evolve IEEE to meet the diverse challenges of the world in 2030. And the driving question was, what changes must we make now to best position IEEE for success in 2030 while still supporting the needs of technologies between now and then? Go ahead.
How they define success.
That's yes.
So we have a definition of it.
Huh?
Do you have a definition of it?
Well, that's why we met. We're talking about what success means. Let's go on to the next
There's more
slide.
slides.
There's more slides. So IEEE 2030 Committee, a high-level roadmap, create a nimble, flexible, forward-looking organization was one of the objectives. There's a task group on that. Then there's one fostering public imperatives, and here's one I actually got to lead, which is the interesting one. Foster diverse technical communities with industry, government, and academia. And then the last one here is empower the discovery, development, and delivery of cutting-edge products and services. And this is, for instance, we know that, or many of us are acknowledging that Explorer, as it is now, open source basically is a threat, and eventually individual articles will not have the net value. What's going to have value is being able to create knowledge by looking at a total database. In other words, Explorer is a humongous database of information. It can be exploited with the right kind of analytical tools in order to help us to create knowledge and more information, not just raw information, but actually knowledge, relationships, connections, and things that are beyond what we're doing today. And this is the kind of products we ought to be developing here. But looking at a timeline going into 2016 and beyond, there's a lot more details and stuff. I want to share with you everything.
There's more. It's easier to read on the next slide.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tom, where does the member fit in all that?
What's that?
Where's the member fit in all that? It's focused on the organization, but where's the value delivered to the member?
Let's go back 2 slides.
2 slides.
Yeah, let's see. One before
One
this. Okay. Best position IEEE for success 2030, but still supporting the needs of technologists between now and then. So we are technologists, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we are the members.
But how is the next slide? What activities in the next slide?
Okay, go to the next one. So there's a lot of details that are not explained here, John. What I want to do is so we actually have a slide deck, which is up on the Region 6 website, which is available for you to read, which is material that's been made available to talk about that. And this stuff is intentionally, we have to have this as something we talk about. In fact, there's some there's some noble objectives here, but there's also the devil's in the details. We need to look at the details here. Let's go on to the next slide. Let's talk about this roadmaps developed for each of the 4 strategic objectives proposed by the IEEE Board of Directors for adoption. Roadmaps will include milestones, owner's budget, etc. Significant progress driven by IEEE ad hoc committees. on, for instance, strategic objectives 1 and 2. That was the
Blue and the green.
nimble organization, etc. For a nimble, forward-looking organization, foster public imperatives, substantial work to adopt biological home organizations. For 3 and 4, that's the diverse technical communities with industry, government, and
It's 3
academia.
and 4 that are doing your interest.
That's more your interest in the sense of creating connections, creating new ways of using information and stuff. But the other 2 are important as well. And I want everyone here, and I want you to talk with all of your constituents, all the people you're representing.
You're going to send out these slides.
A greater version of this is already posted on Region 6.
Now,
I
when
can
you
create a
talk about
Dropbox with
organizations,
all
are we
meeting
talking
information.
about IEEE as a whole, or sections, chapters, regions,
Yes.
or all the above?
All the above. And there's important things to realize on this. And by the way, there's important things that tie actually into our election this year, which is why this year I urge you to tell as many people to really inform themselves about the election as possible. In particular, look at the constitutional change, which you're going to be acted to vote on, and read beyond just the simple description that's given on the website of what this is supposed to do, so you understand the implications. One of the things could be out of this, and having talked to some of the president's stuff, they may want to eliminate IEEE USA in favor of incorporating those activities within members of geographical activities.
I
Okay.
feel that's a bad idea.
Well, I want people to be informed. I want you to inform yourself. So, and if the change in the Constitution will enable things to be done more rapidly by the board of directors than has been possible before, you need to decide: is that
Less
what the
supervision.
organization
I'd
want
love
to
to
have?
see IEEE China, IEEE Japan, IEEE Korea, IEEE EC. That
Well,
sort of thing.
And they're talking about trying to get more like international public imperatives and stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, IEEE USA sort of represents that for things that they take on. But the other thing to think about is, do we need something in the U.S. that allows us to be to like talk to the government, provide friends of the court, things of that sort? I'm just saying, we need to think about that. In particular, there could be some important changes in
So is that the
IEEE.
proposal, Tom, to eliminate USA?
I think that's one of the consequences that the
They're-
IEEE presidents are looking at coming out of this.
They're proposing allowing themselves to do things differently.
Yes, they are.
And one of the things they could do differently is
The board would be given greater power without having a vote from IEEE members, I believe. And again, you should actually read the constitutional changes to understand. One of the things that would come out of this constitutional change would be that the board could make changes without necessarily tying into the membership to do it.
Yeah, one of the things I heard was, if this constitution, according to what they changed, they can have like 3 board member or 3 person involved. If 2 of them say we want to change the constitution, they can change it.
Well, the thing is, I think there are changes that need to be made. We need to be doing things to be more nimble to be able to deal with the future. I mean, the IEEE that works now, and this is both true on staff as well as volunteers, is kind of creepy.
The proposed change is already online.
The proposed change has been online since it was actually voted on by the board last August.
Okay.
So I think all these
Where
changes,
can we go see
just go do a search for the IEEE Constitution, and then I think you can find a text of that. But it's also going to it should be available also during the election. So the election's starting this summer, right? It ends in September. So we got that. We got candidates, the regular candidates, that sort of thing, including Keith, who's from Region 6, running for IEEE US president. But we also have this important constitution change. That doesn't happen very often. I want you folks to let your constituents know about it, to think about it yourself. Help us to get a dialogue going on what we should be doing and not doing. And also take a look at this IEEE in 2030 material and get back to me. Give me your feedback. Because I'm trying to get information from everybody I can. Pros and cons on every side to get as good an understanding as I can to help me, when I vote, to be able to make an informed decision and to represent Region 6 in the best way I can. Go ahead.
So you mentioned about voting in October. Is it voting by the board member or voting by all members?
members.
This is voting by all the IEEE membership. Generally about 10% of all IEEE members vote. Go ahead.
You've probably heard me say this before, but I think IEEE in general and specifically MGA has a governance problem. When I look at the section 2 of the MGA operations manual, I look at the mission and vision, and it gives me absolutely no guidance.
So
as the section chair.
So we're not going to be able to do all the discussion here. For one thing, we don't have
I'm
time.
just making
What-
that as a point.
Yes.
Something to be considered.
Well, here's the other thing I'm suggesting. Why don't we get like some dialogues going on Facebook or something like that, or LinkedIn, whatever makes sense, and have some discussions among ourselves about this.
Good.
Because I think we need to be thinking about these things. I think too often things are just up in the election, and you have no clue who the candidates are or what the issues are. And even if you're the most informed person, you may not. And I'm just saying, I think it behooves us really to understand what's going on this
Put
year.
an opinion piece in the Region 6 News.
For instance, yes. Okay, now let's look and see things we want to do in Region 6. Membership and arrears recruitment and membership recognition. In early March, with Chris Wright from IEEE, who's the membership guy, we started this campaign, and I think they're also doing it in other regions now too. It was, first of all, at the end of February, they have the termination. They don't like to use that word anymore.
Terminator.
Terminator is always a good word. But they have they get rid of all the people who didn't renew. Okay, so the idea here was to get volunteers in Region 6 to call 10 people in their section and talk to them on the phone if they can, email them if they can, leave a message, and find out why they didn't renew. If they forgot or something else happened, tell them, or they're out of work or something like that, tell them what their options are, and help them to get
In
renewed.
well-run sections, and there are a few of them, and they report at sections congresses,
Mhm.
there's a subsection of the committee that runs membership rather than a single person who does membership, and that's what they do.
Well, we're doing that right now, and we're doing it online. We've run into some interesting issues. We actually have over 61 people who have signed up in Region 6 in the various sections, so I urge you, maybe you have people in your sections who want to sign up and be part of this. That we sent out e-notice to everybody in Region 6 a little bit ago on this, and we had over 61 people signed up for it. Ran into interesting problems. We were trying to do this through Google Drive, and I think some of our members don't understand how Google Drive works and how to find things in it. And so so I sent out follow-up messages last week, and I got a bunch of people say, I never got a list. They probably got the link, but they didn't know what to do with the link. So, we got various ages and experienced people here. So they're going to be sent their lists and stuff. So we're learning a lot in doing this thing, but already it looks like we've had a greater response in terms of renewals than we had at this time last year. And let's go on to okay, let me finish this first because I'm getting deep into the weeds. Region 6 conferences. We've got an active conference program. We're getting some more going on. I'll talk more about that. 4. Yes, and growing, including online conference capabilities. Chapter meeting recording. We're going to have the workshop here. This is a big initiative because we actually have funds from the IEEE New Initiatives Committee. More on that later. Program management for Region 6 activities. I would like for Karen to help us to get tools so that we can be effective to do micro-volunteer projects. This membership arrears thing is a micro-volunteer project. You only call 10 people. And by the way, there's awards and prizes if you actually have people renew. Let's see. Creating alliances, industry, and academia. I'd like you to work with us on creating these the academic alliances, and we want to work on all of us on getting all of our powerful industry folks and other things to work with us and actually make a difference and matter to industry in the area. So they will value the IEEE. They want student and STEM support, and finally, we have this Region 6 IEEE engineering coordinator. I want to get more recognition of the great advances in engineering and capabilities that have happened here. So here is Region 6 higher grade members, showing the peak in 2001 at 56, almost 57,000 members. This is higher grade now. 2014 made it at 46,459. Every year we lose a few percent. One of the goals I wanted in this calling campaign is for once, I want this number to go up a little bit versus going down, because this is awfully depressing. And you get these IEEE membership meetings, and they're talking about creating these objectives, and they're always great rosy objectives, except they never meet them. They always go down. And it's been true of every region. Go ahead.
Do we know what's the major reasons the people who...
A lot of different ones.
Okay.
In fact, also in doing these calls, you find out what's going on. I actually signed up, I got one of these lists, and you find out interesting things from people. Like somebody thought they were on the automatic renewal program, and he wasn't. So there's some people that they tried to renew, or they made assumptions they were able to do it, or they forgot about it. One guy, his wife was supposed to do it for him, and she didn't. Because she's the one that managed the money. So here's our initiative. Towards the end of February, they terminated the membership. And again, this is what I talked about before. So we got this pilot micro-volunteering program to get people to volunteer to sign up, make calls to 10 people. If you get one person from your list, you can get a free Starbucks card. I think it is. $10 Starbucks card.
In the old days, you got discounts on your renewal if you persuaded other people to sign up.
Well, we actually have
Member get a member.
Never get it.
yes, we actually have a thing where you can where
But that's getting them, not renewing them. This is different.
we have so different levels. We've got an incentive program on this. We need an incentive. If you get a certain number of people, you have IEEE gear. You can get coffee cups, bags, things like that. The Aloha shirts, if you get above that number, our famous Aloha shirts, like what Joe is wearing there, that's one of the versions. And then we also, I think we've got a thing where if we get people that are above 25 people, they got to renew. We've got something like $200 prizes, essentially, which cover your membership dues, basic IEEE membership dues. So probably 4 or 5 people, something like that. So that's some of the stuff we created. So
So this is being funded by IEEE?
this is being funded by IEEE USA, that part. We'll probably have to buy the shirts. We actually have over 60 people sign up to find out more about this program and sign up here, and we'll make these slides available.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's going to be a Dropbox links with all the presentations from today sent out to you guys.
Onward. Okay. Membership initiative elevations. Also, there's something in your sections. You will find people who are probably something called an associate member. Associate members pay the same dues as a regular member, but they can't vote. They're not a full member. A lot of these people have been working, doing productive work for decades, and they're still associate members. What usually happens is that they may or may not have graduated from college, okay, but they never told the IEEE they did, and so they become a member, but an associate member versus a regular member. At least, especially people who've been for a while. A very easy elevation and an enhancement of somebody's membership is to, and it's basically just a piece of just asking, are you working? Have you been doing useful things, right? And if they say yes, or have you graduated from college? If they say either one of those things, you can get them easily elevated to become a full member. It's the easiest thing to do.
Is there I'm assuming there's a web page where I go to.
Yeah, there's a place you fill out the form. You could take care of it for them. Nothing like the senior member elevations. You got to get recommenders and endorsers and all that. It's just one form. Yeah, so do it. We need to help our members to get some recognition. Senior membership elevations. We need to again organize local events to get eligible members elevated. Recognize the members for their experience may help with our retention. If we do that, we need programs to encourage students to become full IEEE members. That's the other side of our leaky bucket. Is that every year we get all these student members and we lose most of the students.
Old guys like me retire eventually, and we're not recruiting enough students.
We don't get them to stay on. When they have to pay the full dues, they don't see the value.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. We have to demonstrate the value before they graduate.
And we also have this. This is kind of a way that they tried to meet a former section Congress. Basically a loyalty thing. They got these loyalty pins. You can get one. I forgot mine, but I never wear pins. But they've got these pins. You can say how many years you've been a member.
Madeline Albright does.
Go ahead. Okay, Region 6 conferences. Well, coming up here this month, we've got this We Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference is going to be in San Jose. And so that's a big thing. It's actually put on by We, but it's in Region 6, and so we're helping to promote that. We've actually been paying for an awful lot of women engineers to be going to this thing, one way or another. Career and Talent Expo. This is Mike Andrews, particularly, is championing this. It's going to be a solely online event. It'll be all of June and afterwards. And there's going to be an active part at the beginning of it. And then there's going to be all this recorded stuff and ways people can interact. It's going to be actually, you can take tests, a free test to find out aptitudes, capabilities, things about soft skills, what you might be good at. Actually, it comes up with very good things you can stick on your resume from this from the results of this test. It also will have companies who are going to be there and meeting with people, virtually meeting with folks, to interview them to find out about what they do. SUSTech is going to be August 30th through August 1st in Ogden, Utah. That's our conference on sustainable technologies, and so we're promoting that. The GHTC is going to be here in Seattle in October. And then we've got our Rising Stars Conference. Cool logo here. Here's the shirt. January 3rd and 4th, 2016 in Las Vegas. And they're blowing up the former venue, which is where I've had my Storage Visions Conference and the Rising Stars Conference. So we're actually a little later this month making a tour of a couple places there and seeing where we might be. Could be Luxor. So the other thing is we're trying to do this online, not just for this, but we actually bought this license from the Educational Activities to be doing online events. We want to have an online component of all of these events. For instance, GHTC.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Now we
Career,
have something new to figure out.
yes. So we need to make sure we have some internet access. Career and Talent Expo. This is more on that. June 1st through 30th. Career Resources, June 1st through 9th. Live recruiting sessions, the 10th through the 12th. An on-demand event follow-up from the 13th through the 30th, and it'll be online. Whatever's done after that will be online. So this is a strictly online thing. Combined-
recruiting also online.
Yes, absolutely. So we're looking for companies who want to come in, who are going to pay us money to be recruiting. And have
Yeah, so part of this hybrid conference concept is that, there's all these rooms where you're like a virtual reality type thing. You can go to a different room and interact with live people, which could be the managers
So they can
or other
see you.
peers.
They can
They
see
can
the
see. So if you set up
candidate.
your webcam, they'll be able to see you.
Exactly. So you better comb your hair. Yeah.
Is this a Region 6 thing only, or the sections?
This is open to anybody in the world.
But it's
Brought
really-
to-
But it's run by Region 6.
Brought to you
We have bought
by-
the license.
Yes, brought to you by Region
We have
6.
bought the license. If you guys have an idea, let us know.
Yeah, if you want it, so it's not like setting up it's not like doing a WebEx. They have to set it up for you. But if you want to do something, we have this online license thing. We should be able to get some help to do something.
So seriously, have we approached the top end companies in Region 6, let alone the rest of the world? I mean, if in fact it's true that the highest concentration of technical employers is in the Santa Clara Valley, and the second one is here,
Mhm.
who is talking to all those people right now to make sure that they're ready for this?
Mike Andrews needs
Okay.
help from anybody who has ideas on people we should be contacting on this.
He's got an email out.
Activities.
Yep, he's got an email on that. So if you or anyone else would like to help us, and by the way, one of the things we're hoping is that this Career Expo will also feed into our Rising Stars conference in January. So we're connecting some connection of the two together.
But this
Let's
is
go back to the other one
a
just a
big
second.
type deal type thing. I mean, we have to set up event coordinator.
You're on
with the
15 to
company.
32.
Oh, I better go on. We better go on. Anyway, free to IEEE members, and we charge non-members. Personal skills assessment, career and industry content, active passive seekers, job match, right home for unique abilities. We want to link this to Rising Stars event in 2016, hopefully with some sponsors because we lost money on Rising Stars this year. There's more information on that. So, virtual hybrid conferences in general, we have this license. Capability first time in the Rising Stars this year. Plan to use this capability in all of our big events in 2015. Can be used for other types of things too, but we do have some coordination involved in doing it. I want to have an online collection of technical chapter meeting recordings. I'm going to go in details on some of this today. Let me tell you the basic thing we want to do here. We actually have a funding of $40,000 from the IEEE New Initiatives Committee to create an active chapter meeting recording program in Region 6 and Region 4. We basically got this thing launched in January of this year with some microphone sets and training. We're going to do more of that today. We're planning on hosting these recordings and available for free to all IEEE members. Intend to sell access to these recordings to non-members, and therefore we're creating a value of IEEE membership in so doing that. We could have hundreds of these in a year's time. We could have thousands over a period of 5 years' time.
Yes.
And this is cutting-edge stuff, great tutorials, great talks about new technologies, about new companies. Interesting information on everything under the sun having to do with technology potentially.
It's tangible member benefit.
A tangible member benefit. And it's created from the grassroots. We're making this stuff. It's not hoping on staff to do it. We train ourselves. We learn the best practices to do it. We share with each
We're
other.
not depending on
And we adapt.
IEEE TV.
We adapt.
Oh,
It
go
becomes a very flexible grassroots member-generated content.
There's a benefit you haven't mentioned, and that's the people who actually do the presentations.
Oh, yes.
They might get as much benefit as anybody else because it helps further the reputation online.
Well, they get much more than just the people in the room,
Mhm.
who'll be able to
Right.
watch it.
And so, for example, I can
Go
see
back to the other one.
for SUSTEC and for GHTC, as we recruit volunteers, we should probably have 2 per room, and one of them runs the Camtasia equipment for every single talk.
I like that idea. Okay, let's go on, because we are trying to get... So initiatives. By the way, this is a prototype of our new logo for Region 6. This thing.
We're recycling.
Recycling
Logo, yeah.
Um,
We're very green. So let's see, student relations. Oh, this is your stuff. Okay.
We
So
can
5 areas,
probably-
35 sections, 95 student branches, onward. Retention trends. This is overall U.S. In particular, just wanted to show that we're going down on the students too.
Yeah. So the point of this is that bottom. The color isn't coming out really well in the projection, but that
Yeah.
bottom line,
This thing.
that's the student retention.
Right.
Year over year.
Yeah.
So our retention. So overall retention. Or our retention is 80 for the regular members in the end.
That's this number here, right?
Right. And then, but for the students, and look, this is just from 1999 until
99
now.
it was
Look
like
at what's
69%. Now we're like 39.
We're
You know,
losing.
less than 40% retention.
They're evaporating.
That's student to student, it's not student going up
It's
to
this is not student transitioning, but I think it's not specified, but I believe it's both.
Yeah, but
so
it's,
it's basically
let's go on to the next one.
that we lose, and
Um,
it's happened in the last 15 years. This almost cut in half.
now, there's another thing here. This is very important, actually, for some of the getting connections with your student branches. They actually get money if they report who their officers are.
And
If they don't get money. We're actually number one in terms of getting money.
we are
The good
so
news.
This
Yeah.
is So this is
For our-
shocking. That so what is the name of that gentleman from MGA? Jamie
Mesh.
Jamie Motion.
Mesh.
Mosh?
Mesh.
Mesh. So Jamie Mesh gave this report, and he didn't sort it in order, but he sort of offhand says that the non-U.S. regions do much better than the U.S. regions, but everybody overall.
But we're actually the best.
Well, we're at
And then,
21%.
wait a
We're the
minute,
best.
We're 20 out of 95. We have to be.
We're the best. We're
have to
20
be above
21%.
20%, and overall, I think it's like 17.
This is lousy. We need
Yeah.
better connections between the sections and their
Yeah,
local
it looks
branches.
like the
But,
rest
Go
of
on.
the U.S.
and so, but
sucks.
look at New York.
Oh, go
I
on.
mean, look at that.
Oh, that's region 1. 3.4%.
Tom, do
Yes.
me a favor.
That
Uh,
headquarter.
Currently, V-Tools does not allow student branches to use meetings. We're going through a major redesign of meetings. Could you send Vera a letter requesting that? An email
Would you send me an email to send Vera
I will
a
do
letter
that.
requesting that? Thank
We'll
you.
do that.
Okay,
So
onward.
this is you.
Keep going.
Okay, so this is the various branches here.
Yeah,
and I don't
this
mean
is the northwest area.
Northwest
in
area.
particular.
And there's
So back up. These.
Yep.
Okay, so but I thought I gave you new slides. So I had stars by Alaska in my updated slides.
apparently I didn't get those.
Okay. So I had stars by Alaska. So I sent an email to every section chair that was listed on the based on the region's websites section chairs, saying introducing myself. But for some people, I know that they know me, and so. But if I wasn't sure if I met them before, I kind of pretended I sort of had, and I said, "These are your student branches, and here's what your student branches have to do to report." And I can tell from the reporting that I went and found on IEEE, which was not updated. The one I was using was not updated as of beginning of March. And I could tell if you had not reported your officers in more than 2 years. Oh, you're going to record me. If I had not if your branches had not reported their officers in more than 2 years, they did not have the correct officers reported, and therefore I knew that you had not received their rebate.
Okay.
And so that's what I did.
Where do I?
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
And so what is the stars in Alaska?
What about Alaska? Why'd they have stars?
Well, because Bob wrote me back immediately and said, I've been traveling out to those student branches, and so I was assured that reporting will have occurred by this meeting.
So that was why you have stars. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so
And
here's the
so
other.
everybody that's in blue, those are ones that are likely
He keeps it
to
fancy.
have had their rebate.
Oh,
And everybody that's not.
Probably
And
doesn't.
the DigiPen, for example, according to the report I have, they have 0 members. But that isn't, they were a new branch as of fall 2013. But when they ran the membership report in March 2014, they came out with a 0. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and assuming that they have.
We have,
Yeah.
now it's all improved. We have the full slate of officers at each camp.
thank you, Kathleen. Let's go on.
By the way, very small editorial change.
Yes.
Back up. The group that's called North Seattle Community College should really be called Eastern Washington University.
Then they
They
need to
colonize
get
that
they
place.
need to get their geo unit code changed.
Well, no, they've got that's their. It's basically a satellite branch.
Okay.
We can leave that point. I'm thinking there's something wrong here because there's 3 things labeled University of Washington, and there's only 2 campuses. So there's some.
Tacoma and Seattle. I got 3.
Oh yes.
Don't forget the one in Seattle.
All right.
Got it.
Okay. So, student target efforts. Improve student branches by improving section relations with the student branches. We need to actually make an effort to connect with these folks. And provide effectiveness of area meetings for student members, get them involved. Again, we need to get students, we need to get YPs involved in more stuff, so it isn't just gray hairs. Student competitions, more relevant, appealing, but do have something.
Mm-hmm.
It may be hackathons. It may be, maybe it's design contests. Maybe it's like them talking about being mentors for FIRST robotics teams or something like that. Whatever it is, let's get something going on. Career and Talent Expo in June, Rising Stars, again, things that appeal to students as well as other people. And let's go on. So we want to be committed to STEM outreach. We have funding. We've been doing a lot of stuff actually through PACE in particular. It's our future. We need to have that going on. I know what this is from. Ramesh Nair and Bill DeHope. So they're doing this. So this is our STEM stuff. So delegate, find people, let them know who your local STEM contact is.
So do we have a funding for each session for STEM outreach?
The sections can have their own funding, yes.
You can do it as a PACE project.
Region 6 has this PACE money, which we use for all kinds of different things, and we're using it up.
So there's no funding from IEEE or PACE?
Well, the PACE money comes from IEEE USA. And while we still have it, you can spend it. Okay. Sections provide and communicate options. If you snooze, you lose, is what that means. Sections provide and communicate options to members, encourage involvement, publicize success. So you get an outreach chair in your section. Hold at least one pre-college STEM event in 2015. There's the action item. Do at least one STEM thing and let us know about it. Let's put it up on the website. And then here's the website for that. Onward. Pre-college outreach timeline. So here's what the schedule they'd like to do to get things going on so that we have things. And then they want to do some recognition. Platinum, gold, and silver sections based upon how much STEM stuff they do. So get it in, you will get some kind of recognition.
There's a way to tag that in your meeting reports that it was a pre-college activity.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let's go on. Many of our sections reported there are pre-college outreach chairs. We want to recognize those. There's even a bunch here, like Boise, for instance, Central Washington. And so we want to recognize those.
Boise's not.
And I think there's one more on here. Is there?
You actually have 4.
So here's an example of some section events that have been successful. Oakley Space Section, Spangler Elementary Engineer Visit. And here's another one, Buenaventura Section STEM Career Night. And if you get stuff going on, send it to Ramesh Nair at IEEE.org. Next. Other initiatives, trying to create project management tools to do things and trying to make things faster than our meetings tend to be and more efficient. And break things up into manageable pieces. We have money available for section to host breakfasts or lunches with local industry leaders. We want to get industry outreach. This is part of that, getting those local relationships. In the Santa Clara Valley, for instance, we have a local corporate liaison program there that's been meeting basically once a quarter with about 30 people from about 30 companies and talking about what IEEE is doing, find out what they're doing, and trying to find connections and relations. And actually have had a lot of success, for instance, finding chapter chairs from the industry who could fill in spots that we're having trouble filling in, for example. So there's benefits that can come to us as well as them in doing this. We're seeking IEEE engineering milestones in Region 6. We have this milestone coordinator, Brian Berg, brianberg@gmail.com.
Good guy.
Yes.
He used to be SCD section chair, right?
Yes, he was. And finally, IEEE USA meeting. It's going to be May 14th through 17th in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's in conjunction with the 36th IEEE Great Lakes Biomedical Conference held on the 14th and 15th. And sections urge to send representatives. And if you send a representative, we'll pay for half of that for Region 6. It actually also comes out of that PACE funds. So if you want to do that, let us know soon. In fact, I'm asking Dave Butcher, who is is the Region 6 secretary, to have folks send that information to them so that we can get you signed up. But do it soon because
it got extended to April 17th.
April 17th for the registration, so it's not too late.
Early bird.
And so here's some IEEE resources. Again, a lousy version of this possible logo. And
we need a logo competition.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, wait, actually, we're open to competition right now. If you got ideas. Anyway, that's enough for me. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I went over my time. My apologies, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
actually, you did well on overall time. So we are going to take a small break. For those of you who need to check out, you can use this time. And there's coffee in the back. Could we please try and keep it to 10 minutes, so 10:40 instead of the full 15, just to help us get back on time?
Where's people who didn't make it?
Now I'm trying to fit all the schedule.
So it's from Charlotte. Let me see what Charlotte's.
Seattle to buy a new projector so the colors are colors are wiped out on this projector.
We bought that in 2002.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's still working.
With profits from a wireless conference that we ran in 2002.
They're getting less expensive these days.
Oh, they are. Yes, it's smaller too.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's why the thing doesn't work, because we don't have 4-pin
On
connection.
the wrong screen.
Oh,
It's not all the way in.
oh, you tried. Oh, what's it? No, this is the.
I'm on the wrong
This is
screen.
the.
Is that Wi-Fi?
No, I
Or is that- I
think
can't
I
see.
think that's a second. Oh no, you know what that is? That's a Thunderbolt connection.
I'm good. I'm good.
That's what that is. So here's the there's the DisplayPort, and that's the Thunderbolt connection. And here's the Ethernet.
Yeah, very good.
Next time I need something to happen, I'm gonna call you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I will.
I just actually got this last one, so we can have it.
Isn't it nice? It's a nice little plaque.
If I could get it open, there is a pause button.
Evaluation, and you can't see that.
You're going to have some editing to do.
I know, so you can trim the beginning and end.
Yeah.
I just want to see how this one came out.
Pardon?
See if I can get it to reopen.
Yeah.
No,
The mouse won't go. If you removed it off the screen, the mouse won't go.
Bring all to front.
I need to run for director. I think.
I
Anyway, I'll be back.
remember that it was hilarious.
All right. I should be able to tab through the windows, and it is not letting me.
Is available on the Region 6
Yes,
site.
the slides for the IEEE in 2030
And-
should be on the Region 6 slide, which reminds me of a few things.
Because I was looking for it and I couldn't find
And did not
anything
end
that was
Camtasia,
posted
it
on
only
the,
ended
meeting
this.
in January.
And it's amazing.
Oh, all the stuff from the meeting in January is posted.
But I couldn't find it.
All right,
it's
let me
in
show
there.
you.
the
Well,
wrong place,
it's not
huh?
in the. It's not. If you bring up IEEE, I'll probably show you where it is. It's not in a.
Region 6?
Yeah, it's not in a. So you got a magic screen on this time.
Apparently.
And
So-
by the way, Sherry is listed as the chair of this section on the Region 6 website. So there's something here which is the under news and posts.
Okay, on the Region 6.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's
and
not
that is
under-
all
it's
the
not under,
OpCom stuff from.
Region meetings. Don't go to OpCom. Even though it's
Just, okay.
Even though it's the OpCom presentation.
That's where
don't
I
go
went.
to- Don't go to OpCom.
Okay.
Haha! Scott, if you unplug it, you can hit stop.
Oh, weird. I hit stop and then